23rd?
I think we need to wait till 8:30. Isn't it advertised for 8:30?
It was advertised following the executive
Immediately
session.
after.
Okay.
I think it was advertised at 8:15 or so.
Okay.
Brent's going to invite the public back in
Okay.
after we shoot them away.
The little people.
The little people. The little people.
Kidding.
Nobody's
Kidding,
ever
kidding.
called Scott the little people.
John, you're feisty.
Okay.
Okay. This time we'll call the Whitley County Redevelopment Commission regular September 23rd, 2025. Whoops, let's go back. September the 30th. Is it? Yes, 30th. 2025 regular meeting to order. This time we'll do roll call. Teresa Basinger,
Here.
Frank Kessler,
Present.
John Myers,
Here.
Mike Schrader,
Here.
Jill Western.
Here.
And I'm here. Okay, regular business, WCCS, CTE.
We put that on there just because we had received that letter from Dr. McDermott to see if you guys wanted to have any discussion about assistance with any of that CTE that they've done the presentation on.
We had talked about actually creating like an application program, and one of you said that you would.
I looked into it. I didn't. None of my other colleagues in the region like have a form for something like this. I've got an intake form that the region uses for ready grants, but I don't know how often we'll get into this. But I don't have a draft intake form for these kind of requests.
And the other thing I thought about too with the, I mean, we can have a form, but if we have an application, what are they applying? It seems like maybe there should be like we would create a pool of funds that would be allocated towards that.
That was my suggestion, was just an annual appropriation for these standard requests that any of the school districts or schools or educational facilities would apply for. And then we wouldn't have to worry about trying to negotiate or figure out funding or anything like that. We could just say, we've allocated $500,000 per year, and if you want to ask for some of that, give us some details of what you're asking for. Kind of streamlines everything, and they also know what to tell us because
Right.
they know what we're asking for.
And I suppose it would help the school systems in the county as well, as they plan for curriculum and stuff for like the coming year, if they wanted to do a special program or whatever, or
Yeah.
add a program.
And it also helps every year we do a budget for the next year. It just it'd be a line item, no different than some of the other stuff we do.
Yeah. Now, if it was like another high school or something like that, that would still be a special request, totally different. But this would be our programming, basically vocational programming.
Well, that's the easy part. I can continue to work on some kind of form if we do a budget amount, but that doesn't answer the question on the table about this specific request.
Yeah, they haven't really requested anything specific yet anyway. Because I don't know what their timing is, but it's almost October. It seems like if it doesn't need to be done this year, like setting up, if you wanted to do this, it would make sense for a program to start in 2026 and like going forward. This is the amount of money we're going to allocate towards training every year.
Do you have any idea, Jill, what the timing is?
I don't. They are using students and some of our own funds to start the renovation, but I don't think the building's being occupied in any manner.
Okay.
And I just know their general outline that they want to do.
Well, that's the other thing about their request. I'm not sure if they were requesting training or actually hard out. Like,
I think
Yeah. That's what I thought.
to actually renovate the building is where we need help.
And equipment, I think it was also,
Yeah.
wasn't it, Jill, like the loading equipment? and
That
stuff
sounds right.
Yeah.
I think a forum would help this board out a lot if we had some more information on a forum that we could look at.
Yeah, I mean, because I think kind of a consistent list of questions like, are there gonna be certifications, industry recognized certifications coming out of this? How many students a year, how many certifications do you think this is gonna generate? What of our local industries, where is there a need for this? Some of the stuff that Bruce Stack has done in the past for the EDC in terms of identifying kind of our gaps in terms of talents, certain talents and skills that we need but we don't have. I think we could probably score higher if we had some of that data.
If you wanted to get together like a list of the things you want to know, then I could put it into a form and add in the statutory language and stuff.
I'll have something for the next meeting.
Or just do Chat GPT and make it consistent with Indiana
It'll be
legal
wrong.
requirements.
It's wrong most of the time.
And this could be both the program as well as structure or whatever, subject to your approval, of course, then, so.
Right. Yeah, we may say no to the application. We don't need any clown training or whatever. We have enough clowns in the county.
So do you want us,
Okay, there.
do you want us,
Remember, we're on camera and people watch this sometimes.
do you want us to respond back to the school and let them know that, yes, you're interested, but we'd like to maybe formalize things a bit more? Okay,
I think we do.
that's how we'll respond then.
Okay.
Okay, anything else on that? There being none, we'll move on to Project Freedom, property pricing.
So this is setting the asking price for the Niedermeyer property, which I believe has to be the average of the two appraisals. It's what it should be, or more.
Yeah, not less than.
Yeah, you can add some stipulations as we talked about during the executive session. Has to be advertised for 45 days, listed for 45 days. And then if we don't get any takers, if we get takers, then great. We'll move forward with it. If we don't, then more creative ideas can be done, negotiating, splitting property, and so on.
So we'd need a motion to set that listing price.
I would make a motion that we advertise and list the Niedermeyer property at $60,000 an acre.
Okay,
Second.
we have a first and second on 60,000 for the meter. Now you got me saying Niedermeyer property. Is there any further discussion? There being none, all in favor, raise your right hand. All them opposed, the same. Let it show that passed.
Andy, do you have the advertisement?
I'll create the advertisement and send it to you guys.
That works.
Okay.
We'll probably just publish it in all 3 newspapers. That's what we're supposed to do, right?
It's 2, but
Well,
whatever you normally do.
we'll do all 3 just
Okay.
to give the South Whitley Tribune a little favor.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, let us know how many times and so on.
Okay.
Okay, next, updates on Project Freedom.
I've got finally a second appraiser who's actually working on this. It's funny, he's in the same office as the guy who wasn't working on it, but, so very hopeful. I think he will probably have that second appraisal on the Triangle property like in a week or so for the next meeting, so feel good about that.
I did talk to RMC about the poles and the wire and the transformer that's sitting out there. Anytime we'd like to have them down, we just contact them and they'd be happy to come out and take that out of our way. So, and has anybody heard anything on the start of the barn yet?
Nope, Dr. Gilliam was supposed to be getting with me, and I have not heard back from him to get a time frame. I know he was working with his schedule with his crew to come out, and I haven't got an update from him.
Do we think the fire department may actually want the transformer and so on removed before they get involved, or would they rather be there as part of their training exercise?
I don't know. I would say we
I
could
can
leave
find
it
out.
there until,
I can find out if he wants it there or wants it gone.
anything on the signs?
What,
Verbiage.
well, the verbiage I think needs to be pretty simple, straightforward. The sign's not that big, people are driving 60-ish miles an hour past it. And I've looked at some of the other signs around, they just simply saying, industrial property for sale. You know, whether it would say Lily County Redevelopment and then maybe my office phone number, I think that's kind of all it needs to be. Are we still thinking 4x8, or can it be a little bit bigger than that?
I think it should be a little bit bigger. I mean, you're going down the road 60 mile an hour.
Well, the question
You need
is though,
something to grab you.
we'd have to get a variance.
Thing is, yeah, we gotta meet.
Okay.
When's
I'll say no more.
BCA?
We would be filing for the end of the October meeting. We don't really go out with our yardstick and measure for sale signs,
Mhm.
so if it's slightly larger than 4x8, I won't pay attention to the person who's getting the sign done, so.
Can't believe you guys are doing this.
I'm gonna cover my ears.
We were also gonna talk about, billboards on the property.
Yep.
I,
Well, there's one that's still an active lease on it,
mm,
and the other one we terminated, right?
Right.
Yes.
So there's
so
an,
that's ours to do with what we want, right?
unless they, well, they can take it, but I don't think, I mean, the lease has been over for a while.
They own that structure.
Yeah.
I guess is what, okay.
Yeah.
That
But-
would be,
Both of them?
Yeah, but one still has an active lease on it. They had two, they wanted to renew both, and we said no on one, but they still have about a year left on the other one, or 6 months or something like that.
The other one's to the east more, right? The one that's,
I don't know the
yeah. we'll
directions
have-
out there.
We'll have to double check.
Yeah.
I forget which one.
I can't do that in my head, which, yeah,
I don't know which one was which.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we could
Yeah, why couldn't we just,
start using it.
yeah,
Yeah, I would. I mean, if now you're just paying for the paper that goes across it, and you know, if they come take it down, we're out. You know, it's the paper.
Cost of the
Yeah,
paper.
yeah.
Do you want me to reach out to Blue River, find out what the size of whichever sign is free,
Yeah.
and see what it would take to do a cover over it for
Yep.
whatever we decide to put on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you can't figure out which one's which, let me know.
okay, over there, oh, go ahead, sorry.
Also, the person I was dealing with at BRC, as far as a variance or selling or whatever, getting access, he's taken a leave, and so I'm now dealing with somebody else. But, you know, as Andy and I talked a little bit about, it doesn't make any sense to start engaging engineering group or whatever for the road to get in there until we know exactly where we stand on, you know, how we're gonna actually get on the property.
Yeah, until they agree in writing with the election.
Right, so
let us
I
have
don't,
it.
I finally have a warm body to deal with this, but, my concern is if he's the decision maker or not, but then also, you know, are they gonna, do we have to pay for it, are we gonna try and buy land, are we gonna get an easement, all that, so, but at least I've got somebody I'm communicating with.
And I think Brad was, he was asking whether he should engage an actual engineer as well. This is kind of right at the cusp of what he can do in-house. Whether he should go ahead and get them engaged in order to define better exactly what we're looking at for the design, so that we can negotiate whatever we need to with them. So that's the question. Do you guys want to go ahead and, I think we discussed this before and left it open-ended, but more pointedly, do we go ahead and get going with a engineer.
What if we let Dale have the initial contact, a new person, at least get them open to the concept of it, and then we could say, hey, we'll get you more details exactly what we're thinking. Because if maybe the new guy says, no, we're not going to do that.
Yeah, we don't wanna.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we need to confirm with the current owners as to where we're at there, and then maybe engage engineering services.
Okay.
Quick update, Doc Gilliam just called, and he said the barn should be done by the end of October.
Good. Okay, sounds good. Anything else on the Niedermeyer property? And okay, we'll move on to 100 South reconstruction paving.
I don't, Brad didn't give me any updates on
Okay.
that one.
Rogers
Well,
Market.
I thought Ray decided that, didn't we?
Yeah, we
Yes.
decided, I thought we
Who's
decided to
gonna
wait.
Yeah, so that's, yeah, no change. Rogers Market, the current building, Dale, do you have anything on that?
The German company was kind of interested in it, and I actually had a chance to go to their headquarters a few weeks ago. They're still interested in the area, but I don't think that building is what they're looking for. The tenant they thought they had, I think, has taken the Fibertech building. So we don't have any warm prospects for the Rogers building at the moment.
Okay. The engineer is meeting with me and Dale. Are you available Friday afternoon?
I think so.
Probably with Dale as well, about doing another lot or two on the west side of the overall Rogers Market property. So I don't know if they have a set buyer yet. It kind of sounds like they do have a buyer involved, not just Rogers themselves. That's one thing I'm going to figure out. Many reasons, but the use will determine exactly what we look at. Do we have them put in the road and so on? So development issues. But that is slated for Friday afternoon. So we'll see whether it's another spec building. But again, they were talking about quote unquote buyer involved. So.
Also, Dale and I had a conversation with the other property owner to the south of Rogers by Racetrack, who is possibly looking at doing some further development of that land, kind of piggybacking with Racetrack. Not a lot of details on that, but possibility there.
Anything else on that? About Larwill,
Nothing since our last meeting.
okay. US 30,
So we do have somebody, a different somebody, fourth somebody I think, interested in this tract property at the northwest corner of 830. So he's been meeting with Brent and occasionally me too to try and figure out what he can do there. His concern is the loss of access to 30. Going to try and convince them to have right in, right out there, but I don't feel optimistic that NDOT would do that. At least not there, maybe in the urbanized area where speeds would be a little different, but out there between two interchanges, my gut says no, but that's his hope. So we'll see. I think there's quite a few uses for that property that don't have to have direct access, but it's a matter of getting people to figure out how to make that feasible.
Mhm.
So.
What type of uses would you see for it?
Unsure.
Yeah, ones that would have visibility but not access. So one idea that was floated by, I think, third person who asked was an RV park. Having visibility for passing RVs, but having that more exclusivity by not having a lot of traffic going by you, meaning less access. That would be one. Storage units would be another, but those don't have to have visibility at all. Various other ones, but those were a couple that had been floated before.
Okay.
Okay. Dale, any walkthroughs or anything coming up?
Not coming up, but the next meeting, I would like to make a request from the commission on behalf of Impact CNC, and their president would be here on some kind of training grant. You know, I briefly talked about this a couple of meetings ago. They're going to hire another 35 people, and they're doing some really interesting training, some geometric dimensioning and tolerance training, some robotics training, and they're building a training center. They're going to probably add over $2 million in annual payroll. Impact is way above the county average wage. Their starting salary is about at the county average wage, so I was looking at what we kind of did for some of the other training grant agreements, $1 per person or whatever. So say if they did up to 50 new hires over the next 2 years, if we did 1,000 per new employee, $50,000, it seems pretty reasonable. I don't know what the commission's feeling is on something like that.
Could we, maybe after our next meeting, or whatever meeting, when he comes in, could we go out after the meeting and have him show us what he's talking about?
Yeah, in fact,
Or is that what you're
they would
saying?
love that, yeah. And I can set that up.
Just occurred to me too, in our talks with Advanced Assembly, VRC, and that the road across there, it may actually be nice to have a tour of their facilities too, to understand
What?
their access needs, because I know that's one of their complaints and concerns is getting trucks down to 30 and avoiding Yellow River. So if you can kind of understand their operations, it might be helpful too.
Okay. Any miscellaneous matters?
Probably, but I can't think of any.
Okay. Claims?
We just the one? Okay.
Did you take anything off of here for being late?
I'll bring donuts next time.
We've heard that before too.
I've never said that before.
One claim, Carson LLP, professional services through August 31st. Total dues, $601.50.
Mr. Chairman, make a motion we approve the claim as presented.
Second.
Okay, we've got a first, second. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor, raise your right hand. All them opposed to say. I didn't think I was gonna get through.
I appreciate your vote. I really did think it was 8:15 and then 8:30 is the meeting. I was here at 8:15.
You're even the one who wrote the.
I thought we talked about it. Yeah. I'm wrong.
And we have minutes in front of us. Everybody had a chance to look over the September 9th meetings, the minutes.
I have, and I'd make a motion that we approve the minutes as presented.
Can we have a first? Is there a second?
Second.
I have a second. Any further discussion? There being none, all in favor, raise your right hand. All them Well, it showed it passed. Okay. Jill, you have anything?
Nope.
Steve? Dale? Not gonna ask you, cause I know.
It's not rare being videoed.
Scott? Andy?
Nope.
No, sir.
Joe?
Nope.
Teresa? Frank?
Nothing further.
I have nothing. Teresa? Tiffany?
Just
Sorry,
for
sorry.
that, have something come up.
Nathan?
No.
Brent?
No, sir?
Okay, we stand adjourned then.